Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. We are back at Orchard Road, a modern mecca of shopping, retail therapy, with its massive shopping malls, luxury brands, boutiques. But don't you know, behind the glitz and glamour of this location, there are dirty little secrets, dark secrets, history that Orchard Road wants you to forget about. But it happened here. So, in this video, what I will do is I will expose to you, yes, expose the dirty, the dark secrets, history of Orchard Road. And this week, what will I tell you about? Well, remember in 2005, Orchard Road, the Orchard MRT exit looked very different. There was actually a park on top of the MRT station. Things were different. This mall here, Ion Mall, was not built yet, and so what was on top of the MRT station were a park, and this park was a popular place for Filipino maids to come and picnic during the weekends. And in that park, on the 9th of September, which was a Friday, at 1:45 p.m, a cleaner who was cleaning the area noticed a blue and red sports bag at the corner of a mosaic wall. So she went there, she unzipped the bag and found a grisly find. Something that you would never expect to find in a bag. She found part of a severed head, which was in a red plastic bag, and also other black trash bags containing arms, elbows, legs. What a grisly find. Then, at 6:10 p.m. on the same day, a civil servant was walking around Lornie Road, which was near McRitchie Reservoir, and he found a black trolley bag. And inside that bag, another grisly find. And what he did was, he called the police. And in that bag, the rest of the woman's body parts were found. And this was the start of the Orchard Road body part murder. So, why did someone chop up a body so grisly and into so many parts? What could be the reason? What motivated the murderer to do such a grisly, such a unbelievable desecration of the body? Could it be because of love, or the root of all evil, money? So, we are going to the actual location where the murder happened, which is a condominium along Serangoon Avenue 2. And in one of these condominium, one of these apartments on the 8th floor, it happened, where the murder happened at one of these locations nearby. So what happened between the victim and the murderer? It was said that they were as close as sisters, and it could have been a love triangle, because the pair was often seen at the popular Maid hangout next to the Orchard Road MRT station with a local Indian man. And the tall and handsome man was seen with the murderer, and there were rumors that both of them were vying for his affection. But unfortunately, the truth is much more simpler, and the reason for the death is the root of all evil, which is it was a dispute about money. It's always the root cause of evil, of death, of murder, a lot of the times. 2 days before the remains were found, the murderer and her victim, Miss Le Puebla, were cooking in the kitchen of the condo of the murderer, where the murderer worked. They were chatting about their problem, which was a $2,000 debt that the victim owes the murderer. And to make matters worse, they actually borrowed money from a loan shark. So the victim got agitated when the murderer raised her voice to her, suggesting for her to sell her video and digital camera to help pay off the debt. But they calmed down. But later she brought up the cameras again, and this sparked a fight. They started to wrestle. They started to pull each other's hair. They started to grab each other's necks and clothes. And the murderer beat her friend on the forearm. And the struggle spilled over from the laundry area to the bedroom, where the victim's blood was left on the floor, the mattress and the wall. And during that time, the murderer grabbed a cushion from her bed and used this to smother her friend.
So somewhere along Serangoon Avenue 2 there is a condo, and in this condo is where it happened. Yep, somewhere along Serangoon Avenue 2 at the condo. It happened here.
For the next 2 days, unbeknown to her employers, she hid the body in her room inside a luggage bag. Then, on the 9th of September, after her employers went to work, the murderer went to Mustafa Shopping Centre in Little India and bought a chopper, an axe, black rubbish bags, even a pair of canvas gloves, and another made of latex, and bolsters, pillowcases, a bed sheet, and even a green wallpaper to match the one used in her employer's flat. Wow, you can actually get almost anything at Mustafa. When she returned back to the flat, that was around after 9:30 a.m. She started to dismember the body, and she started to place the body parts into separate plastic bags and wrap them in rubbish bags. She then started stuffing body parts and some newspapers into a travel bag. At midday, she brought the bag containing the victim's head and limbs and took a taxi to Orchard Road, where she dumped the bag next to a mural wall at the Orchard MRT station. This was maybe around 12:35 p.m. This location was a stone's throw away from the park where her friends used to gather and meet every Sunday. Then she returned back to the flat at around 1:25 p.m. Half an hour later, she put the bag of the torso into a bigger piece of luggage bag and took a taxi to McRitchie Reservoir. Near the bus stop along Lonnie Road, she took the smaller bag out and left it next to the footpath. In the space of 12 hours, the police has the suspect in custody, and they're wondering, how did they find her? Well, what happened was, inside one of the bags was an International Herald Tribune newspaper with a sticker on the front page bearing the name and address of the murderer's employer. And this led the police straight to her. And don't forget, she also did bite the victim in the forearm. And during that time, the newspapers and the tabloids were going crazy with sensationalized news about this murder. And before the trial began in May 2006, the charges against the murderer were reduced to manslaughter. And so the court could have sent her to prison for life. She pled guilty, and her defense lawyer also wrote a letter to the Attorney General on the grounds to reduce the charges on the grounds that the death resulted from grave and sudden provocation, and that the murderer suffered from a psychiatric condition later revealed to be depression. And so, at the end, the murderer was sentenced to jail for 10 years. So, this is one of the dark little secrets of Orchard Road. Incident along Orchard Road that nobody remembers anymore. Even the location where the body was dumped, the park, the mural wall, the whole place doesn't exist anymore. And they have built this place here, Ion Orchard, Ion Shopping Mall, with all its luxury brands on the location where the body was dumped. And so this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. As per usual, like, share and subscribe. Support me on Patreon or PayPal. Watch some of my old videos too. And lastly, but the most important thing, the thing that you have to do is to join me for my next adventure. I will see you guys around. Bye bye.